MSNBC, The Cycle, and Abby Huntsman. As regular listeners of this show know, and as readers of great economic writers like Dean Baker and the Los Angeles Times' Michael Hiltzik know, as well as readers of my own writing at ourfuture.org, Abby Huntsman of MSNBC misled her viewers and viewers of The Cycle a couple weeks ago about Social Security. Note that I said misled. That's important because while it's okay to have conservative opinions, it's not okay to deceive people about the facts. Now, we assumed and would like to continue to assume that this was a simple misunderstanding, misinformation on their part. So radio host Richard Fowler and I responded together as respectively a millennial and a boomer to talk about this issue because we don't want to support this rhetoric of intergenerational war. The fact is that what we really need is for generations to come together to protect the social contract and to protect Social Security. So Richard and I wrote her together. We laid out the factual errors for her. I won't go through all of them now, but the one that I do want to emphasize because it's important now is that Abby Huntsman said there will be nothing left when it comes time for millennials to retire. The fact is that even under concurrent projections, more than 3/4 of the program will be left, and the remainder is easily fixed by lifting the payroll tax cap and having the extremely wealthy pay more and or with the Wall Street tax. So she misled viewers in that and a number of other respects as well. Now, MSNBC chose not to respond, even though there were petitions created and so on, urging The Cycle to correct the record on this. So that means we're now in day 14 of MSNBC and The Cycle held hostage to deceptions and misinformation about Social Security. Now, on day 14 or day 13 of this, depending on when you're watching the show, depending on air times and so on, Abby Huntsman made the decision essentially to double down by recording yet another commentary on the topic. And by the way, it was my understanding that The Cycle was a panel discussion show, but these commentaries are not recorded for other members of the panel to respond to their solo commentaries. She recorded a second one, which was broadcast yesterday, in which she mischaracterizes the very eloquent response to her written by Michael Hiltzik of the Los Angeles Times. But she also, somewhere out of nowhere, says, guys, this is not about me. That's one of the ways she begins. But I'm sorry, Abby, but this is about you. And here's why. It's because as a broadcaster, no matter what your opinions and no matter where you land on the political spectrum, you, your producers, and your network have a responsibility to the truth. Now, you and I may come from different political perspectives, but if I ever present anything that is factually incorrect on this program or even mildly misleading, and someone brings it to my attention, I will correct it. Abby Huntsman, The Cycle, MSNBC, you didn't do that, and your viewers deserve better. So here's another thing I want to point out. MSNBC presents itself as the counter to Fox Network and to the kind of spin they have over there. It's important it's incumbent on the network not to allow The Cycle to become the spin cycle. So look, almost word for word, we're hearing the same propaganda cooked up by consultants for the Pete Peterson Foundation and Wall Street groups like Fix the Debt, all of which are very interconnected. Pete Peterson, by the way, is the billionaire who's been trying to cut Social Security for years. They have developed marketing strategies, presentation strategies, misleading statistics, misinformation. In Abby Huntsman's two presentations, she repeats and plays out the strategy almost word for word. It's all there. The idea that her opponents are somehow partisan while she is not. Well, I'm not being partisan at all. I'm inviting everyone on the right side of the spectrum to disagree with me about this. I'm just saying, get the fact right. Do not tell your viewers that this program is running out of money. Do not mislead them on the actuarial and statistical data. But no, Abby Huntsman insists that the other people are talking, those of us trying to correct her and correct MSNBC are talking as if we are somehow campaigning for office. She used the word campaign. She used the word partisan. And yet, despite the fact that she's accusing those who disagree with her of being partisan, she trotted out corporate Democratic Party war our horses, like Ed Rendell, clips of them to support the idea that somehow hers is a nonpartisan idea. Sadly, it is at the national level because bipartisanship at national politics level is sometimes a matter of how much corporate money can buy which partisans. So I'm sorry, your Ed Rendell clips don't impress us. Your Pete Peterson funded strategies don't impress us. Now I'm talking not just to Abby Huntsman, but to the producers of the cycle and to MSNBC. I call upon you, the people who agree with me call upon you not to agree with us, not to have an ideological lockstep on us, but to debate based on the facts. I really would like to encourage MSNBC and the producers of the cycle to do the right thing. But I would also like to encourage viewers of this show to let the advertisers on those programs know if you feel that their dollars are going to support misinformation. Again, not to attack Abby Huntsman, not to attack any individuals, but asking them, educating those advertisers about what's being said with their money and asking them as well to join in the process of asking for a correction. And Abby, again, I will direct this to you. If I may call you Abby, you may call me RJ or Richard, whatever you like. I know you said it's not about you, but everything we do in our lives is about us. So is our personal experience. Maybe you haven't had the personal experience of working for 62 years or until you're 65 or 67 in a stand-up job for low pay. But believe me, if you did and you reached the point of retirement, you would not want Social Security cuts. You would not look kindly on people who mislead the public in order to support those cuts. And if you could look at it through those eyes, Alan Simpson, by the way, I'm not singling you out for bad treatment in that sense. Alan Simpson, like you, Abby Huntsman, is the child of enormous wealth and privilege. He too, although he acts folksy, has no idea what it means to work for a living, standing on your feet all day. I used to walk around a shopping mall all day, sweeping up garbage, and I'm not. Am I proud of myself for doing that? It's what I had to do. If I had to do that at age 65, I'd be struggling. Listen, I don't think this story is going away. I know perhaps they think it was clever to perhaps, broadcasters love controversy. It draws in viewers and that sort of thing. Maybe that's why they had Abby Huntsman take another crack at this story. But I implore you, executives of MSNBC, to hold your broadcasters to a higher standard. I implore you, advertisers at MSNBC, to take a look at what's going on. I will continue to stay on this story. It's certainly not going away here at the 0 hour, and I don't want it to go away for America, because Social Security is a program not that divides generations, but which brings them together in a web of mutual support and trust. And until that program is safe and expanded for future generations to offset the maldistribution of wealth that has occurred in recent decades, I'll keep fighting for it. You may think differently. And as they say, it's true of me and it's true of you. You're entitled to your own opinions, but not your own facts. So I'm RJ Eskow, speaking for the facts, speaking for Social Security, speaking for the concept of truth in advocacy journalism, no matter what side of the debate you're on. I'll continue to fight that fight. I hope you'll join me. I'm RJ Eskow, and this is the 0 hour.